I'm Alan Alda, and this is Clear and Vivid, conversations about connecting and communicating. Malcolm, this is great. I'm so glad to be talking to you today.
Hi, Alan. How you doing?
How are you? Well, you and I had a conversation on your, I guess it was for your podcast, about Korea. You were very interested in digging deeper into the history of the Korean War. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I had nothing to offer. Everything I know about Korea is in the series MASH.
Not true. Not true. I thought our conversation was fantastic.
Oh, well, where have you gotten with that?
On that episode, it's in the fourth episode I did a 4-part series in this season of Revisionist History that's about the bombing of Japan and the invention of napalm. And so I'm tracing the ideas that led to the firebombing of Japan in the summer of 1945. And then in the last episode, I talk about Korea, Vietnam, and how our ideas about bombing both evolved and didn't evolve. And the thing that's weird about Korea, of course, is that in American life, there was really only one institution that ever discussed that war in any detail whatsoever, and that was MASH.
Huh?
Nobody. Show me something.
I'm not aware of that. Tell me more.
No, I mean, it's fascinating. World War II, I can find thousands of cultural representations of that war, right?
Oh, I see.
Biographies, television shows, books, movies, documentaries, statues, museums. I go on and on and on and on. You cannot escape. So there's 100 different ways to consider World War II. Vietnam, I can find it in popular music. I can find it in Apocalypse Now. I can find it in books. I can find it in people who are still alive today who will talk about it. I mean, on and on and on and on. That war left a powerful imprint on our national psyche, on literature, on art, on everything. The Vietnam Memorial is this iconic memorial I don't even know where the Korean Memorial is. I certainly haven't visited. I visited the Vietnam Memorial. Name me a best-selling movie, a best-selling book that was about the Korean War. Name me anything other than MASH that dealt with the Korean War in American. If I walked up to the average American and I said, tell me what the Vietnam War was about, they would tell me, and they would be pretty accurate. What was the World War II about? They could tell me. What was the Korean War about? God only knows, unless they watch MASH. It's MASH.
Well, obviously, the war was about hot lips.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you tell someone they may have their facts wrong?
It's funny. Last night I was at dinner with a guy who said, very intelligent guy, and we're talking about police shootings, and he said, well, the weird thing is, of course, is that only 54 people in America are killed every year by police. The real number is 1,000. And I had this was the exact question. I wanted to correct him as gently as possible because I thought he was actually the kind of person who, if you did it right, would not just change his mind, but actively explore why you had how to correct him. So I said, actually it's complicated because there's all kinds of definitional issues about what a police killing is. But the best treatment is this. I named a book. I gave him the name of the book and the guy who wrote the book, Frank Zimring's When Police Kill, and written 3 years ago. It's pretty definitive. And Frank Zimring thinks it's closer to 1,000.
So did he slam down his napkin and walk away?
No.
What happened?
Took out his phone and went on his Amazon app and ordered the book.
Oh, great. Well, you had, thankfully, the source of your information handy.
I think, but that's the thing. To answer the question, you don't want to embarrass the person or make them lose face. And you want to give them, I think it's always easier if you can triangulate. So I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm saying, actually, there is a guy who's an expert on this, and you should take a look at that because it might, help you improve your perception.